if I'm doing good with one Christian, what happens if I scale up? Now I need 5 Christians. But, you know, I mean, they're not going to have the same type of people because, you know, you're not going to have the same personalities.
Only one Christian, first
so
of all.
in order to scale, you have 5 stores now. Then you hire 5 random people. Oh, now you need people to do this other stuff. So it's like...
Welcome to another episode of Bored with the Boys.
Yeah.
Dude, there's karate action there for you guys.
As for all always, you audio listeners.
Me, Christian, guy on the
don't even point
my left or right.
Last time I was wrong.
Yeah.
So
you'll get it on both sides.
it's going like this. All right.
Somewhere.
And then, again, up top, Scott and Brian.
Yeah.
And today we got a topic from Scott.
Always. We always have a topic. Because we're the boys. We like to talk about things, right? Like as Christian said.
Dude, things.
We like to talk about topics and things. Topic things.
Hit us with a scoop.
All right. So something that we've all kind of thought about, but it kind of came to my head a little bit more this week. So I had a meeting at work. It was like a global meeting with all of like the people who run the company. And they were just going through like random end of the year numbers and bullshit and stuff. But then they got to like this area where they were like recognizing employees, and all the employees that they were recognizing, like, I don't know how true it is or not, but like they were saying they like went, you know, above and beyond. They worked like 200 hours. They put in like 150% and like all this stuff. And it's like, just makes you think that like the only way you're getting recognized at like most work these days is by going like beyond the 100%. So it's kind of goes to like the whole work-life balance. So if you kind of think about how we even got to the point where we have a 40-hour work week or whatever it ends up being, and then you know, at least in America for sure, you know, 40 hours is like not even enough to like actually succeed or really climb in a lot of these companies. Like, is it even possible that we have like a non 5-day on 2-day off work week? Like, how did that even start? And like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? Like,
yeah,
like like if you worked more hours, like instead of 40, so like 50 hours, you get more of what
yeah,
you
so
need
it's like,
for
you know,
company.
everyone works their hours, whatever, but it's like, you know, these random people that just going crazy. They're like, that work-life balance, they're like going more on the work side, and then it's like that's the only way that these people are being recognized, by like shifting the balance and putting more time into work, when it's like in reality what most people's goal is that like you don't want to work. Like most people want like a longer weekend, and like not everyone hates their, you know, Monday morning type of thing, but it's like the goal shouldn't be that you want to work 100 hours a week to get recognized. And it's good to climb in a company and do well, but it's like, is the goal to like go so hard at this company and like have your balance be like all your time is being dedicated towards work versus like your actual life? Like it seems like it's just it's getting worse like as time gets on. Like that balance seems very broken, you know, at least in America, because I you know, I don't know in other countries how well that is. You know, I know like in like European countries and stuff, like you get like so much time off and like your company can't take it away from you and stuff like that. So like they have certain balance things that are better. Where here it's like for my company, if I don't use my vacation, they don't pay me for it. They just take it all away at the end of the year. And it's like,
so I sort of have a story somewhat related to this, and it's recent as well.
Go ahead. It was more of a rant, but you know what I mean? Go ahead.
So, well, anyways, so at the job we're at, right, we're doing a supermarket. If you don't know, I do construction plumbing. So we're doing the plumbing for a supermarket. And one of my higher-ups comes to the job and says that there's overtime available, and that he's not asking us to work it. He's telling us that we have to work overtime. I just kind of laughed at him, and he's like, "What's so funny? I don't understand. This is overtime. You have to work it. We got to get this job done." I said, "Well, I was hired to do 40 hours a week. As soon as I hit my 40 hours on that Friday, I'm not coming in on a Saturday because I like my 2-day weekends."
And
he's like, well, that's not, you know, like I'm telling you have to work Saturday. I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not working Saturday. I don't know what you want me to get.
But then it's like,
so
because
he probably looks down on me now.
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm saying.
I didn't, you know.
So like because you're not going
I bust
above
my ass
like
enough during the week.
yeah,
So I don't
because
have
you're
to
not
work
going
Saturdays.
beyond that, now you lose recognition. You actually get looked
Yeah.
down upon versus like,
Yep.
okay, well he's like, he's doing his work. He doesn't want to do the extra. It's like, oh well, now because I can't force him to do the extra, he's like a bad worker. And it's like I feel like that mentality is it's like it grows in the business because
Mhm.
I've certainly spent many weeks doing well more than 40 hours, like trying to get some sort of recognition, finish all these projects. They always say like build somebody else's dream. It's just like I don't know. I feel like the balance is broken. Like not everyone can like start their own company and like chase their own dream type of thing. But like when working for somebody else, it's like I feel like it's just the system that we have is only getting worse. Like we're so focused on like the work and the growth of a career versus like why do we have 5 days on and 2 days off? Like why isn't it 3 and 4? Or, the opposite way. Like what? Like do we have to do that so we make so much money? Like if we did it the opposite way, do we just scale up the value of money or scale it down or something? So if you only work for 2 days, things just cost less, but then you have 5 days to spend it. You know what I mean? Like how do we get stuck in this vision which is so imperfect? Like don't we control how this looks? Like how do we get in this vision of life that is just so backwards where we're like we spend so much time doing work that you don't really even enjoy? Like I don't know, you know what I mean? It's just so it just seems so broken. And like that meeting just seemed like okay, the only people that are being acknowledged are like these people that are just going so far beyond, which is fine. Like it's props to them for doing the work, but it's like it just sucks that that's the only way to even like get recognized is to like go so far beyond what you're even supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I would so much rather work 4 10-hour days and then have 3 days off, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
But even just like
That
you
would
say
just
like
make
10-hour
me
days,
so
like
much happier.
like why couldn't you just work 4 8-hour days? Like why does it have to
That
be
too,
40
yeah.
hours? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how did that
Yeah.
even like
Yeah,
that
where
just
does
seems
that-
so
where
normal
did
to
that
us.
number
Like
come from?
Monday to Friday, like you just work the week and then it's like why do we have to work 40? It's like because 40 hours gives you so many dollars and those dollars equate to so much, merchandise. But it's like can't we just shift things so that you just work less and like you can actually enjoy your life? It just like we control all of this. It's like this. We made this society. You know what I mean? Like we created these jobs. We created the economy is based on us. Like how did we get here? It just seems. You know what I mean?
There's other
So-
places that have, like you said, like Europe and stuff that have 4-day work weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
their like productivity is better, and like,
Happiness is
quality
better,
of life is
productivity is
better.
better.
Well, that's the thing. If you're like happy and you don't hate your like, even if you hate your job, like 4-day work week's not gonna make you love
Yeah,
your
yeah,
job. But like if you have like a decent job, but having a 4-day work week, like it's like other places that do that, it shows that the people are happier and they come into work happier, and the productivity is they get more done in 4 days than they do in 5 days.
Yeah. Well, they
So
even
you're
prove
saying,
like. Go ahead, Chris.
So you're trying to say that you're trying to do more of a part-time thing because
No,
anything
I'm-
under 40
Like
hours
I'm trying to
is
say like
part-time.
why is doing less
Yeah, but
than
why
40
is
hours
that
even
part-time?
part time? Like why is it
Yeah,
considered
why,
part
like we
time?
made that. We made 40 hours full, and anything less like 32 is part-time.
let's say we all
made
worked
that. It's just
20
a structure that we made.
Yeah, let's say we all work 20 hours a week. Like maybe 20 hours is full time, and it seems like oh well that's not a lot of hours, but we came up with that. So if we say okay let's cut it in half, we do 20 hours a week, and then all the other hours you get to like live your actual life. It's like what do we adjust to make that happen? You know what I mean? Like is it like changing the value of the dollar and the price of goods? You know what I mean? It's like they could figure that out. We just don't because we just are pushing to like do all of this work. And you know what I mean? It's like why?
It's kind of pointless.
It seems so
Like-
pointless because like you spend your whole life and like again not everyone like loves their job, not everyone hates their job, but it's like most people like it's not like their passion. You know what I mean? They're not like going to work like oh, I love this. They're doing it so that they can like go home and do something fun. So it's like
it's more of the greed society of things. Like people want more money, so they equivalate so much on things just so they can get more back.
yeah, it's like the 1%
It's-
controlling the 99%. You know what I mean? Like because the thing they care about is like having the power and the money. And it's like by you
Yeah.
working 100 hours, like you've helped them more than you've helped yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it probably does boil down to like the greed at the top level, but because they're so high that 1%, like you can't touch it. We're just stuck in this like awful.
hmm
You know what I mean? It's like this is our lives, and you spend more time doing the work than the things you actually want to do. And it's like the whole idea of like live your life and then like do fun stuff when you retire is the stupidest thing
bullshit.
ever. What are you gonna do when you retire?
Yeah, it's barely
nothing
anything
fun.
you do.
You can do old people.
65, you can't even walk anymore.
Like you can do.
65, you can't walk.
I mean, you can do like fun things for that age, but it's like you only live your whole life to do what you would consider fun at 65. Like, wouldn't the things you
Yeah,
consider
fuck
fun
that.
at like 20 and 30 be more
Yep.
fun in reality? Like, why?
Yep.
Like, why don't we do like more living early and then like more working later? Like, you talk to so many people that are probably like 70s, 80s, or even 90s, and it's like they're just bored. You know what I mean? Once you get out of work, like some people have hobbies and stuff, but they probably would like to like still be doing busy work and making $1. Maybe not like doing a full work week, but it's like they build
Yeah.
a system where it's like, oh, work real hard and then retire and then relax until you die.
Do nothing. Yeah.
And it's like what?
Which
It's
is
like,
worse for you. If you do nothing, you like
Yeah.
it's worse.
Or
Like
you,
people degrade when they don't do anything. Like when you're
Or you
old and
can-
you're not doing anything, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
it could be like us, where we create a podcast and a Twitch channel
Just
and
a
try to
bunch of
grow
old
off
men.
that. You'll work so
And women.
hard
Like old
and then
people doing
retire.
that, that'd be fun.
yeah, I mean that's something, but it's like I don't know, because other people say it's like, well, you know, people don't put the effort in, you know, to excel at their job because they feel like they're building somebody else's dream, which is like partly true, but it's like like I said, not everyone can do their own thing. Like some people are going to work for other people. It's like you can't
Yeah.
use that as an excuse. Like you have to have a job to make money. So it's like unless you're going to start something, you have to work for somebody else. So you can't use that always as an excuse. But this is more around like just the whole like the balance and the percentage of the amount we work to the amount we live life. And it's like that meeting this week just like brought it up again. And I was like, I feel like we work so hard. Like my whole group at our work, like works so hard, but it's like we all have lives and kids and stuff. So we're not like staying on a Friday night working on stuff. And it's like we'll never end up on any sort of recognition despite what we do because we're not putting in 200%. That was like literally like 200% was on some slide for like what we're trying to reach to. I'm like, when did 100% not become enough? Like the leadership is
Yeah,
literally
for real.
they're literally looking for us to do 200%.
Which
It's-
doesn't even make sense to me.
I know, it's like
How can,
they
you
want me
can't
to-
have more than 100%. It's the max amount.
Yeah,
You
it's like
can't more than that.
They want me to work 80 hours a week. Like, are they gonna pay
Yeah,
me for
like-
80 hours a week? Like, I don't understand. Like, and that's like the goal that they're telling you to do. And it's like
Yeah.
those meetings always end up turning us off because it's like them controlling. Like we're building it for them, which it's still a job. It's fine, but like, why am I going so hard at this? You know what I mean? Like, what does this give me besides like, I get a promotion, I get a little bit more money. It doesn't do anything for me as a person. Like, it's just I don't know. That the whole balance
I
just
think
seems so
it's
broken.
just-
like, how did we
yeah.
get to this
So-
point? Like, why are we not just
the whole-
living
it's-
more life?
Greed.
I think about that all the time. Like I was thinking one day, I just like driving. I don't know if I was driving, but regardless, I was thinking just like if like money like didn't exist in a way, and like anyone could just do whatever you wanted to do. But like I don't know. I was thinking if like how would that work? Maybe not like money didn't exist fully, but like just some kind of system where
Yeah.
like maybe like there was just a limited amount. Like work was just like very like you said like I don't know,
Yeah.
like 2 days.
I mean, it's
3
hard
days.
because-
people
just, like-
still have to make things and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
people have to
know.
make
They're-
things.
I
and,
know
like,
that
if you,
part,
like-
but like
Like, I
people
want to
would
have
still do things like jobs that they wanted to do, and they could still get paid to do those jobs. Like if you enjoy your job and stuff like that, you could still like you'd have all those people that would
Yeah,
still be.
but I mean,
doing
there's
that.
always-
like, not that money didn't exist altogether,
Yeah.
but like
and it's hard because like you have to have some control around it because like let's say like like we can do whatever we want. We're all like let's go to a concert. And it's like the DJ's having his blast. The bartenders are probably thinking it's fun, but like all the people setting up the sound equipment, the stage and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
it's probably not like their ideal job. You know what I mean? So it's like if everyone had the freedom, like what is the DJ setting all the stuff up for himself? You know what I mean? It's like maybe people help him, but it's like I want to go zip lining. And it's like like we need a guy to like set all this stuff up, and it's like is that what he wants to
Yeah.
do? You know what I mean? So it's like. You think it's like
s-
it would be great if
I
it
feel
was
like to
total
some
freedom to do
extent
whatever,
there's
but
people that want to do that stuff though.
I know, but you know what I mean. It's like
Not as much as there would be if people would just be working.
yeah,
but
There's some balance, way better than what we have now. It just
yeah.
I don't know, I feel like I think about it all the time, especially when it's like I have a crappy day at work. I'll text you guys and be like, oh, today sucks. And it's like it's necessary
am I
because I
doing
can't
this?
just quit. You need the money, but I can't just stop working and like all right, I'm just gonna take a break today. It's like you can't just tell your boss like I'm gonna do an hour today. I'll come back tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that, and it's stupid. Like your life is secondary to your work
Yeah.
life for most of your life until you retire, and it's so dumb because you're always scared of getting fired. You're always trying to do the right thing to get a promotion so you can afford the small thing in your side life, which is your real life. It's like it just seems
You
so
know what,
stupid.
so-
Like we're in control,
Mhm.
and we have the dumbest system.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's just like
Well, we're not in control.
like
Well,
for me,
I meant humans. Like,
Yeah.
Like for me, I was trying to work like a job that I really wanted when I was younger. I was like, hey man, I want to work at GameStop, and you know, I got that dream to work at GameStop. But at the same time, like
Sucked.
yeah, probably
I
wasn't.
couldn't have fun. Like
Yeah, you can't like
like
talk to people about the games, try to like sell them
Yeah.
on the game. Like you have to just do like work based
Focus-
things.
yeah. So basically, we had to focus on sales and like how much we have to do this and that. But and honestly, for me, when I'm selling the games, I want to give them the product that's right, not the stuff that they
Exactly.
tell me to give
Yeah,
them.
and
So
you
that's-
yeah you
that's
can't
the
even like do
problem,
the
though.
job.
That
Yeah.
it makes it worse. Like companies like that. Like if game like that probably. I'm not saying that's the reason GameStop. Well, talking about GameStop now with this whole thing that just happened.
Yeah,
But
besides the point.
before all this,
Yeah,
like I feel like that's part of the reason why they started doing bad. Because like when you have these companies that do that and they're just like numbers,
Yeah.
it's like nope. There's no personality.
They don't
There's
focus
no
on the quality,
connection.
they just
There's
want
no
the revenue.
people. Like I'd rather have a person Christian. Like if I walk into a GameStop, like what he just said. Like
He
talking about the games
cares,
that
yeah.
he plays and
Yeah.
that he likes and describing games in his, not numbers, pushing numbers, trying to make sales that like just
Yeah.
some shitty game just because he wants to sell it. Like that's where like company, it's kind of backwards. Like companies don't focus on that. And like when you look at it, it looks like you're not going to make money, but then you make money. But if you
Yeah.
focus on the money, you don't make money. But like
But
so many
it's-
companies just like it's
I
stupid.
mean it's definitely greed because then it's like okay you have it. Let's say in that scenario you have like this one guy starts a shop. He has a Christian's doing the sales. They're doing great because he's
Christian.
doing what he does. So it's like then the only thing that changes there is, I mean, there's growth and wanting to be better, but like then it's greed because it's like, okay, well, if I'm doing good with one Christian, what happens if I scale up? Now I need 5 Christians. But you know, what I mean, they're not gonna have the same
about
type of
that.
people because then you're not gonna have the same
There's only one
personalities.
Christian. First
So
of all,
in order to scale, you have 5
yeah.
stores now. Then you hire 5 random people. Oh, now you need people to do this other stuff. So it's like you think you're growing, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. It's creating this company, but you're like defeating the purpose of what made it special in the first place. Because
Yeah,
as you
you're
scale,
losing
you're just adding random
yourself.
stuff to support the scale.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like that's any company. Like even my company, it's like we have things that we do really well, and then we have things that we like pretend that we do well at that we just sell, and we just like, oh, we sold this thing to this person, and we're like congratulate ourselves like we made $1 million on this random thing, but then like we spend a year trying to like set it up for the customer, and it's just total garbage. And like we know it from our side, but the sales and all them is just selling it because it's $1. To them, it's like a win.
trying to make you look good.
Yeah, and it's like it's a
So-
win to them for a dollar perspective, but it's not a win to anybody else. Like because it's not going to benefit the client, it's not going to benefit us, and we spent all this time doing it. And it's like then the client after like a year or so, they get out of their contract, they leave, and it's like, oh well, it's just another dollar loss. And it's like the whole thing was just so wasteful. Like why do we even do that? Like to make $1,
So-
it's so pointless. Like I don't know. I feel like every
So-
company
so-
gets to that point.
So you think that like chain places like GameStop or like I'm just throwing examples like McDonald's and whatnot. Do you think if they had less of that, that they'll do more? Like in
Yeah, I feel like
'cause-
that's why people.
Partly,
That's why people really like small shops, like privately owned,
Yeah.
like what they call like mom and pop shops and like
Mhm.
local breweries and stuff like that. Because it's like a small independent thing, and you have people that care. When as soon as you say the word chain, that means like there's so many people involved. There's so
Takes
much
the
money
fun out of it.
Yeah, and like it just becomes this like
The
churning
personality.
machine, and it's like. That's good for some stuff because when you have chains, you do so much business that it is cheaper. Like
Yeah,
McDonald's.
it's like you will. Yeah, you're not gonna make like as much as a chain. Like you never will.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't matter at that point.
But it's like it's our mindset too because McDonald's can sell a hamburger for like $2 or $1. But if you have some like little shop, this guy's making burgers with like he's putting his effort into it, and his burger's like $8. It's like oh, that's so much more money. But it's like it probably tastes better, has all this extra. He cares about it. He's like actually doing this for his family, not just some corporate CEO. But it's like because he can't do it at scale, people are like, oh, well, I can't pay that kind of money. So it's like a mindset thing because we're chasing the cheaper things, but to be cheaper, we have to do them at scale, and it's like we do it to ourselves,
like-
kind of. It's hard.
Yeah.
it's just like I rather shop at a dollar store because they everything's pretty much a dollar.
I mean, that's
Guaranteed.
different. I mean, yeah, you got to shop to your own thing, but you know what I mean? Like, let's say you went to like a food fair or something like that, and there was like
Yeah.
a McDonald's, a Starbucks, and then like some guy who just creates like these crazy awesome things, but his things were like 5 times more expensive. Like most people would just go to a McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like because it's just cheaper. Even though like supporting him would probably be so much better because he's like has a family, and McDonald's could care less about your dollar McChicken. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like as a person, you're like, oh, I want this cheaper thing because it's cheap.
it doesn't hurt my wallet as much to buy this cheap
And it's
piece
like-
of chicken
And it
versus
sucks.
this expensive piece of chicken that's like a gourmet piece, and he throws like, you know, he marinated it and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like,
Yeah, it's probably way better for you.
Yeah, it's probably
too,
way
but
better, but it's
expensive.
like how do we even get to that point? How do we get to the point where it's like that $8 thing is so expensive to us and we have to get the dollar thing? You know what I mean? Like that's probably all part of this whole weird balance where it's like
It's a hard system. Like it's probably it's like way too complex.
it's,
for any simple
we're
solution
we're
to that.
simplifying it to a degree, but it's also like
Stupid. And
it's so
made up by
stupid
us.
because it's like we're not taking any steps where it's like I said, it's getting worse. Like to
Yeah,
stand out
like-
anywhere, you really need to
yeah.
just go so hard, and it sucks.
And it's like there's people being more successful than ever, and everyone's making more money than ever. But it's like no one's happier.
no.
No one's like life is more pointless. Like there's no like there isn't a point to all this. Like
But like
It's
you,
just-
you,
it's
you chase
stupid.
all of that to like make more money, to have the money to do something in your personal life. You know what I mean? Like I got that raise, I'm gonna buy this car.
yeah,
It's like now you have this car that you're just going back to that same job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you're being required to do more effort,
Yep.
and it's like, well, what was the point? Now you have a nice new car. Is like, does that actually change things now that you have this other role, or would it have been better just to not have the car and had a less responsibility? You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
we're like chasing these things.
So you can't enjoy the higher value of things because
you'll have to
you have to work harder to
maintain-
get more
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
and more things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because it pushes you to like buy things with your money because you don't have time to do experiences. Like they always say, like experiences trumps things.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're always working to make a lot of money, you don't have time to do experiences, so you buy things, and then things cost money. You keep working, so it's like
There's like the whole thing I just seen on like I
sucks.
seen something on YouTube about like minimalism and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and like how people like happier and they just like sell not like all their stuff,
Yeah.
but like
They just
like
have, like-
minimalist. Like they keep it to like their bare minimum stuff, what they need, and they just like keep their expenses down, so they're able just to like focus on life and events rather than
Yeah.
things. It's like take your attention off all these things. Like everyone's trying to get like companies and all this. They're all trying to get your attention. They all sell.
Yeah.
Like all these big tech companies, they're all buying like your attention on all these
Yeah.
things they're selling. All these things. So it's like minimalism is just about like getting rid of all these things and focusing just on like life. And it's like you can still live and have like a job and stuff, but then you focus on life rather than things. And like people just say it's just so much better. Like and obviously it's like you can take it to like extreme, but like just there's a healthy level of that too that I'm sure that we could all do as well.
Mhm.
yeah. But it's so hard to get away from. You know what I mean?
I
Because
know.
like
It
you're
is.
so
Well,
pushed into
the
that
system
other
is
direction.
built on that. It's
Yeah.
it's the whole everything is built for you to
to be
keep
in
going
this
to the next
scenario.
thing
Yeah.
and buy this new thing and look at this thing, and it's just the whole system is built around that, and that whole addiction is just like hardwired into everything. So that's why it's so hard to get out of it.
And it's like
And even if
It's
even
like
if you
I'm
wanted
terrible at it too. Like I'm not saying like I'm fully aware of
Oh,
it.
yeah,
I'm still so bad at it. Like
This
almost
this
like a
actually
cat- Good.
no. This goes back to what we were talking about in a previous podcast. Like, how are we going to afford the newer things like the electric cars and whatnot because they're so expensive?
yeah. I mean, it's like
Well,
go ahead, Brian.
I mean, at that point, referring back to another podcast, we said by the year 2035 was
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
that they'll force you to get like electric cars and all that stuff.
yeah, it's the
I
same.
feel like by then the scale of electric car cost will come down so it's more affordable, but there'll be like way more of a range of electric cars to buy, so
Yeah.
you can still buy the top end cars if you wanted to.
Mhm.
So as far as that goes, I mean, I think it'll still be kind of like today, except it'll just be electric.
Yeah.
And another thing I was thinking of is that it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't nowadays, because
Yeah.
if you wanted to work 20 hours a week and you just said, fuck this, you tell your boss, like 20 hours, that's all I'm giving you, you get fired, and then you don't have money to pay your bills. You lose like whatever you have, your car, your house, your girlfriend, your kid, like you're on the street. If you really want to take it to that level
Yeah.
and focus on your happiness, you actually lose happiness.
Yeah, it's like you don't
'Cause-
need money to be happy, but like you can't just be walking the streets homeless and be like, oh, this is
Yeah.
happy. Like you need to like
Yeah.
you want to do things that make you happy and like enjoy your own life, and that's not like working at a company. Like yeah, I mean, if you're doing like what you love, that's different. But usually when you're doing what you love, you're not doing like your hobby or your passion. You're just doing something like you're good at and you enjoy it, but if you had the choice to get up and do that or get up and do something else, you probably wouldn't do that. I mean, some people maybe, but other people probably not, because you're still always chasing some sort of like monetization.
But yeah, like what Brian's saying, like it's like not. It's more of like less damned if you do, damned if you do, or like it's like an all or nothing thing. It's like either you worked for someone else and you put all your time and effort into that, or you don't put all your time into that and you're homeless. like there's no like working like, you know what I mean? Like not all companies. Obviously, there's a lot of like good
Maybe not
companies
that
out there and shit.
drastic, but I mean, it's kind of like
yeah.
Yeah, but there's very,
like,
probably
like Scott
very
was
few
saying, like
companies
40
that would
like-
even let you do that.
Yeah, like Scott was saying, like it's 200% of everything, or it's like like whatever, we don't want you, or
Yeah,
just,
you
know
just,
what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
just shut up. We're not going to give you a raise.
yeah.
It's like, but I've literally worked here for 10 years and I work my full hours and I do all my work. They're like, oh, but this guy started last week and he's been working, every night, all day, every day. And it's like, okay, what the fuck? Like, and that they
There's
value
just-
that because it seems like he's going above and beyond. And it's like, well, he is, but it's like, why is that what we want? Like, we don't want to have people like exhausting themselves for the company. Like, I feel like, again, I don't run a company or anything, but I feel like
Yeah,
as a
'cause they
CEO,
put
like,
the-
why would you want that? You would want just like
Yeah,
people
you-
that like are coming in,
you put-
doing the job, and like they have their work-life balance, not people that are like, oh my god, like they live and breathe the company. Like,
Well,
it's
they put the like money sign in front of
yeah,
the health and happiness of their employees a lot of the time. Big corporations and stuff.
yeah. The CEOs like throw down like goals, like, oh, if you hit this goal, maybe you'll get a raise, this and that, and it's like they dangle like a prize in front of you, and then you're chasing that role or that promotion or that dollar, and you're going so hard, and it's like you're just skipping all of your life for this promotion this other guy is waving in front of you. It's like, again, not everyone can be a CEO, but it's like for the people
There
that
needs to be
need to
something
just work
better.
for somebody else and like live their life, like it's
Yeah,
not
there needs to be-
it,
there needs to
it
be
can't
something
be
better.
you have to work 40, you have to work 80 hours to like survive, and then have fun when you retire if you have enough money.
Yeah.
Which is like a whole nother thing. It's just, it's like
I think
sad.
the whole
as soon as you
scale
turn
of just
65,
money.
you can't walk.
I think yeah, I think the whole scale of just like what money is worth and the value of things is just all messed up.
Yeah.
And it's just like no matter, I don't know, like if you're not, no,
But it's like sad to think about because you like
I know,
everyone says like,
it's,
oh,
like,
like you want to like
depressing.
live your life, just live your life day to day, and we talk about it on other podcasts and stuff. But it's like you can't,
hard.
like you can't,
I
like you're
know.
sad because you're like, oh, I don't want to wait till I'm 65. I'm wasting days. I'm wasting days. But every day you get up, you do 8 hours of work, you do your chores, whatever, and you're like, fuck, I gotta go to bed or something. And it's like it makes you sad. Like you're like, I can't even live my life because I have to do this to support a life that I think
You
I
have
want
to
to
go
live.
to bed early just to wake up early
Yeah.
tomorrow, so you can
Yeah.
not feel tired at work.
And you're going to work to
Honestly.
make money to like for the life that you're trying to live, but you don't have time to live the life. And it's like
Yep.
it's just like sad. It's like frustrating, but it's sad because like if you have a really unproductive day, you feel like you lost a day. You know what I mean? You're one step closer to that like that final dark day. You know what I mean? The day where you die or whatever. It's like you can't do anything about it. Like I said, yeah, you can quit. You can try to do something on your own. Most of the time, that's not successful, and you end up having to like you lose so much stuff, or you try it for a little bit and go back to working some crappy job, and it's like nobody. You know what I mean? Like, what's the?
Christian.
There's
That's
no
just a hard
answer.
system.
There's no
I
answer
know, 'cause
to
it's
it.
just
You're right
this
down
whole
there,
system.
Christian.
It's
What's
just-
going
No,
on
I,
with you there?
my test widget for the record just like stopped, and then I pressed it again, and it shows 2 minutes, and then it just went back. I was like, what the hell?
What?
Anyways,
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just
It's
like
like-
a whole system that's just
it's just
we're
weird.
stuck in, and
Like,
like you can't really do anything about
you
it.
mean like, what's the solution? Like, everyone gets $1 billion when they're born, and it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
that's
live
what-
your life
there's
until
no-
the $1 million is up. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know, like we're talking like this, like we don't have a solution. We're just talking about that. It's like it's just
yeah,
a stupid
I
thing.
I
but
don't
it's
know a
like,
solution. Like, a solution would be like,
Yeah,
let me work
Hit the
a few-
reset button.
let me work a few hours a week and like make something that other people will purchase that makes some sort of value, and then I get value back from that. I get dollars back from that. But what I make from that dollars should be able to support
yeah.
more than
That's
5
what-
days
that's what I
on and
mean.
2 days off. Like, we work 5 days to support 2 days. Why can't we work 3 days to support 4 days, or work 2 days to support 5 days? Like, whatever it is, whatever the balance is, like that's what we need to shift. Is the value of the dollar that like is it-
See, that's what I think is a whole.
like should a
that,
shirt
like,
be 25 cents
monetary
instead
thing.
of $25? You know what I mean? Like, what needs to change for that
Yeah.
shift to happen? Like, I'm not
It would
I'm not
have
saying I don't
be
want to
that.
work. I don't have a problem working. I understand
Yeah.
we need to work and society needs it, taxes and everything needs to happen. There's a whole system there, but it's like I don't understand why the balance. Why is it not 50-50? Or why is it not the other
Yeah.
way? Like we just don't value life.
No, we don't. It's like money and power
It's
is
just
valued more
kinda
than
like-
life.
Kind of like what we said. It's just a system. We were already born into the system. It's
Yeah.
like you're taught from when you're younger to work hard, and you'll get
Yeah.
rewarded.
Which is like not like you said,
Well,
nothing necessarily wrong with that, but
Is money the right reward? Like, is that
right,
what?
exactly.
Exactly, yeah. And that's like the promise of college and stuff like that, which like I know college is starting to take hits and stuff, which is good. Like, because only certain professions I see college even being useful, but it's like just that
you
whole
don't need it for
dream,
everything.
that promise of like, oh, work really hard in all your school, which
Mhm.
we should talk about school in another podcast because school is so
Joke is a joke.
like once you leave like fourth grade, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Anyways, we should talk about it another time. But like, you go through all your school years, like, oh, I gotta get to college. You go to college. Oh, I gotta get a job. You get a job, and it's like, you literally just live half your life.
You owe money now.
You spent half your life just getting to a point where you're like, now you can do something, but then you can't.
You can't. Yeah, and then
You know
you
what I mean?
can't.
It's like, it's a false
Yep.
promise that you spent
worked,
all the
you
way
worked
into.
half your life just to owe $100,000
Yeah.
for this nice job that you get that you have to give all the money back
Yeah.
anyways.
So let's say
Yeah.
you do it perfectly and you graduate high school, you go to college, you graduate at like 22, 23. So it's 23 years of your life getting to a point where you can start like trying to have a
Your
life. Because
life.
before that, you can't
Yeah.
really have a life. You have like hobbies, you have little jobs. You don't really have a life because you're in a pattern. After that, you kind of have the freedom to like get a job,
Mhm.
not get a job, travel the country. But then whatever you get sucked into, that's it. I got a job. Well, now your life is this job. And maybe a weekend birthday party here and there.
So, yeah, it's like that's the fucked up thing. Like people ask you like, what your job is. Like people say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?"
Exactly.
And it's just like
That's
it's like, what do you do for a living? That doesn't like that
Like-
shouldn't be the question.
I do some stupid computer stuff to make dollars, and then
Yeah,
I
but like
try
what I
to
do
like
for a
have fun on
living
the
to like
weekends.
physically why I am alive. Like it's like the things I want to do is what I do for a living, not
Yeah.
what I do for work.
Oh, that's
like,
a
I-
good point.
Profession.
Yeah, what's your profession
Yeah.
is different, but it's like, yeah, what do you do for a
Yeah.
living? It's like, well, I do this random job which kind of supports
Yeah.
my living, but I don't
breathe,
consider
I
it like,
talk, I eat. I
Yeah,
blink.
like
like,
I'm not like I don't like to
happiness, like, human
associate
interaction.
myself.
Hands.
You know what I mean? Like I don't
What?
like associate myself with my work. Like usually I'll keep it fairly
Yeah.
generic. Someone else like, oh, what do you do? It's like, just I do this. Like whatever. Like it's just a job. Like I don't want to be like, oh, it's this whole company. Let me tell you about it. Like no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like if I did my own thing, maybe it's like you get a little bit more into it, but it's like I don't. That's not my life. That's like I'm doing that to try to support my life, and I'm losing.
Which a lot of people are.
Yeah, and it's like not that like I get paid fine, and it's like I
Yeah.
don't hate it, and it's like it doesn't hurt me, and like I could support my
Like, listen,
lifestyle.
like right now, I'm happier than I was. Like I like where I work. I used to work for like a bigger corporation that got bought out, and that's partly why I left because it just it was getting more and more
Yeah.
sucky because the company was getting bigger and expanding. And it was just more stupid, like top like CEO bullshit coming down to us. And it's like, why are they doing this?
Money
This
stuff.
makes zero sense on our level. It's just making them more money, but it's making everything worse. So that's like partly why. But now I work at it's like a family owned, like a small business. It's still like, I don't know, 40 employees or whatever, but it's still like a family owned business. And it's like, I like that a lot better.
Yeah,
I get paid like good money. I'm like happy there,
like you don't
but
hate
it's still
it.
not like,
But if you-
but it's still
if you
not,
got up in the morning and someone's like, "What do you want to do today?" You wouldn't say, "I want to
yeah, it
go
wouldn't be
there
that.
and work."
Yeah, right. Like I have no complaints about where I work.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
it's just not
I'd
what I
still
wanna
rather be
do
doing
for the rest of my
something
life.
fun.
So I'm in the
But
sa-
like you said too, I understand like people have to work. Like I know I have to work,
yeah.
but it's
Like you have to bring value. Like everyone
Yeah.
can't just be like freeloading around the world and expect
Yeah, right,
things
yeah,
because you're gonna try to
Yeah.
do things where you're gonna want someone there to help support you. Gonna feed you a food
Yeah.
at a restaurant type of thing. So it's like you got to bring value, but it's like just a percentage of the value. Just
you're right.
It's
I
just
think it's
bad.
just really thrown off. Yeah.
like I said, I don't have a fix. None of us have a fix. It's just every day, like
Just
midday, and
something
it's
to
just
think
like,
about.
this sucks. Like I don't want to do this. Like
hmm
The only
So-
job.
But then it's just like why, and then you're just like I don't want to do this, and you're just like why are we doing this? As a
So-
whole? Like,
and you just
why-
go down
I
that
guess-
rabbit hole.
I got something sort of to rant about a little bit. Scott, you just mentioned like restaurants like serving you food.
Yeah.
I don't understand like if we're talking about this whole living
Why
thing,
they paid less?
why are they paid so little?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What the hell is
Waitresses,
tips?
waiters,
Like, what is that?
like
I know.
Why is that legal?
if they are literally keeping you alive. If you think about it, like
I know.
you go there to eat
Yeah,
and drink.
I know.
And they work just as hard as like someone at like
Oh
a
yeah.
like
Or
a grocery
harder.
store or anywhere else, or you're
Or
harder.
harder.
Like some of the, they probably work harder at their job than I have worked at my job ever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yes.
Physically
yes.
and emotionally, like yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is hard to do. And I'm typing on
Why
the
are they
fucking
getting
keyboard.
paid like $1 an hour as a waitress?
That's like what we put priorities on as far as like paying goes. It's just all fucked up.
Just like Dunkin' Donuts, like I wouldn't get yelled at to get paid under like $12 or anything like that.
But even like Dunkin' Donuts has like a standard rate. Like a restaurant, like they have
Yeah.
restaurant
Yeah.
rates. Like you can get $5 an
lower.
hour, even though the minimum wage is like 15. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's like,
Yeah.
like why?
Yeah, they
like,
pay
it's a-
them lower than minimum wage.
Like, it's a
'cause they,
job. It's like, oh
make
well,
up in
people
tips.
might tip them. Be like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
might.
don't get that. It's like why wouldn't they just have the minimum wage and then the tip is a bonus? Like why?
Or why would
I don't
make
fucking
any
why wouldn't
sense? So
yeah why wouldn't they
stupid.
just be paid and then the tip is just part of the fucking bill?
Right, that's
Because,
just part of the
like,
job.
you're-
Like you
you're
did.
No, like
serving-
not even part of the job.
so
Like when you get your thing, like the tip is not optional. Like it's just in the bill.
Oh.
Like
It's a $10 tip no matter what.
not even a tip. It's just like
Or-
it's like a restaurant service thing to be able to afford the people
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
restaurant. And it's like I wouldn't
Oh,
complain.
that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, because then like the restaurant. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like
I guess.
the reason they're
It's-
paid low is because like they think that people are gonna get high tips. If the tip was just like some standard thing that was on it, then they could raise their rate because they would be a guaranteed thing. You know what I
they
mean?
would
It's
know
like
what they were getting.
that seems solvable. Like that's a solution.
Yeah.
And the only
Yeah,
people
I
that
don't
would
know why
complain
it
would be the
seems so
people that
low.
wouldn't tip. And if you don't tip at a restaurant, you're an asshole.
You're a scumbag.
So it's like, so,
Sorry.
but it's like they're doing that for like the potential asshole,
always
and it's
tip
like that's
really high.
wrong.
Yeah,
I
I
always
never
tip
tip
really high.
low.
Yeah.
I always-
I'm not like rich by any means, but
No, I just like make up, like I'll look at the number, I'll go off with the number, and I like to like round up to like a nice high even
Yeah.
number. So even
It's-
if it's like more than the amount,
Yeah.
I just go like what the number is.
Hey, go
There's
20
this one
plus. I mean,
time-
you're never at a restaurant where you're like, oh, I just spent $1,000. Like shit, I can't afford this tip.
Yeah.
You get like a $30 meal. Like you could tip the person 20%. You know what I mean?
there's this one time, I'm not bragging by any means or anything, but it was around like Christmas time,
Okay,
And we
calm
went to-
down, Brian.
and we went to like Texas
Alright.
Roadhouse.
Oh,
Texas
fancy.
Roadhouse. Oh god,
And-
high rolling.
And our waitress, she was pregnant and like she was
Of
busting her
course she
ass
was.
and just serving everybody. So we tipped her $100, and we wrote like hope everything goes well with the baby on the
Yeah,
receipt and everything. And
yeah,
she
I like doing that.
like as we were walking out the door, like we got outside, she like came outside, like gave us a hug. This was before everything went down, so
yeah.
mask off, we were good. And like
Super
I don't know,
spreader.
it felt good.
Yeah, see, I
Not
like
even-
doing that.
Yeah,
Not even
doing
just,
good
like,
without without the
giving her
need
the
of
money,
recognition. Yeah,
like she
Yeah.
felt good, so I felt good.
but it's
Right.
like
Thing.
So you do it again?
yeah. I mean, I
if
have
I had the money, yeah.
I have stories like that too. But it's like it's I don't know what I'm just trying how I'm trying to word this. Like there are a lot of stories where people are like tipping someone at like a restaurant type scene, and that becomes like the nice gesture. But it's like that is only a thing because of these people are always like struggling because they don't make enough money. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if they were all making normal money, there would be no stories of like, oh, I tipped her $100. Like, oh, why did you tip her? You know what I mean? Like, oh, she was nice. We're like, okay, why did you tip her? But it's like, oh,
Yeah.
these people are struggling. They make $5 an hour. It's like I tipped her $100. And it's like, oh wow, you're so nice. You know what I mean? Not to take away from Brian's story, but it's like it's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
nice because of the circumstance
The
that we've
system, yeah.
created. You know what I mean? Like I've had circumstances where like, we're at a restaurant. We were at like Chili's or something one time, and like this guy was like being so mean to this like young waitress,
that.
and we heard when the guy left, we heard her saying to like her friend like he didn't tip anything. He left the exact amount. And like she was so nice, and I don't think she did anything wrong. So on our bill, we paid like whatever it was, like doubled. Like we paid our meal, the tip, and then doubled the entire thing. And we wrote on it like, sorry, not everybody's an asshole. And like, we didn't wait to see her reaction, but it was just like
Yeah.
it like felt good. But it's like also she was in a circumstance where because he was an asshole, she makes less money. Like that's so unfair.
Yeah.
So it's like
I know, because people are just asked like dick for no fucking reason whatsoever.
yeah. So like it felt
And,
good
like,
that we
people-
did it.
I've
and it was,
never, I know, that's like the whole conversation of going back, like people are assholes and stuff. Like,
But it's
people
like-
are so mean to people at restaurants.
yeah, but
like,
we
and
that
even if it's not
situation
their fault.
gives them the ability to be an asshole. Like if you had to
Yes, yeah.
if you had to pay a normal amount and the waitress was going to pay whatever and there was
You
no
had to
tip
pay it no
anything
matter.
involved, he either pays it or he doesn't. If he doesn't pay it, like, that's like illegal.
gets
You know what I mean?
arrested.
That's the thing. So it's like
Yeah.
then he would pay it and he would leave and she'd be like, okay, whatever, and she would move on. But it's like it's the
Right,
fact that
yeah.
she needs the tip to like make her
Mhm.
wage.
That's
So it's
true.
like
Yeah, because like yeah, that's really
so it's like
true.
the system
Like, 'cause,
creates
like,
the ability to be an asshole
Right.
or the
If you
ability to
work-
be nice. And why is that?
yeah, if
It's
you
so
work
stupid.
like a retail
Board with the
job,
boys restaurant opening soon.
like if you work a retail job and a customer comes in and they're just being a dick and yelling at you and you work out, they walk away, you're like, "Well, whatever, that was dumb. You go on with
Yeah,
your
you're fine.
job, you still get paid what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
But like exactly,
They don't
if
take
you get
away
paid-
money
in
because
the
he was like a
restaurant,
dick
you
and
just
he's like,
make less
I'm
money.
gonna return this shirt and you're gonna pay me for it. I'm gonna keep it and take 4 more shirts. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like
That is
you know what I
such a
mean? Like the
broken
restaurant system creates the area to be
It's so
good or
stupid.
bad. But it's like we're doing
Yeah.
that, and it's like it's good to be good. Like to donate, like Brian did, what I did. It's like that's nice, but it's like that shouldn't be nice to have to do that. You know what I mean? Like it should
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
expected that this person's working and gets paid for their own freaking
Getting,
hard
it's
work.
getting paid
Yeah,
equal to what they do.
what they
Yeah.
deserve. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's the system.
That's
Same
not
thing with
true.
like the work week. It's like the company, like Brian said, if you say I want to work 20 hours and they fire you, it's like you can't really look down on the company because they have their own business model. And it's like that's what it is, 40 hours. It's the system that creates this need for
Yeah.
40 hours because like
Mhm.
I don't know, it's hard. Some companies are just
I
bad
know, some-
companies, but it's like
That's what, and some of the companies are trapped in the system.
exactly, yeah. But
themselves.
they're trapped in the system because it's like that's the cycle, and they have to have the money to go through to pay this person to pay the material. It's like it's so far back that we would have to change. It's not just like some
Yeah.
quick thing, but like restaurants, I feel like is easy to change, but it's a
It'll never
system
happen,
that it's
just-
the system that creates the bad scenarios, and it's like we're doing it to ourselves. It's so frustrating.
Mhm.
Then you go to a restaurant and you let's say you do have a really expensive meal and you're like, I'm just gonna tip 20%. Like you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Yeah,
just
I
tip
know.
20%. You had $100 meal, you're like, I'll give them $20. And it's like it's probably good for that person. She's like, oh nice,
That's-
that,
oh,
is
yeah,
that a lot
so-
of meal. But it's like
That's in that context too. It makes no sense that the tipping thing, because like someone working at a like lower scale restaurant is doing the same thing as a waitress as
Yeah.
someone working at a high scale restaurant. So why would the person at the higher scale restaurant get
Yep.
even without just at 20%, not extra tipping?
Yeah.
Because 20% on the more expensive meals is 20% than the cheaper
Exactly.
meal. So why would they get more money for doing the same fucking thing?
because they brought
Just
out a
'cause the
plate
meal
that
was
had
different.
fancier food on it. It's so,
Even
you know
though
what I
they
mean?
walked to a kitchen and
Because
brought
they
the plate.
went to culinary
like,
school, so they
No,
have
probably
well,
not.
they're not even the cook though.
Yeah.
They're just a waitress. They're
They
doing
just
the same
happen to
exact
be
thing.
at a
They're walking.
building-
They're taking orders.
They were at a building
say
where they wore a fancier shirt and did the
Yeah,
same job.
exactly. Like if the same person, if you took a person, put them in this restaurant, and they did the same exact job as that same person, and in this restaurant, they make more money in a different
Yeah.
restaurant because of tip, because of the tip system.
And you can say like, oh well, they can, why don't they just work at the bigger restaurants? It's like because everyone wants to go to the fucking shitty restaurants, and they're not always
Yeah.
hiring at the big restaurants because only like
Yeah.
some people go there. So it's like it's
bigger
our
restaurants
mindset
are more
where it's like
expensive.
we're going to the cheap place, so that the cheap
Yeah.
place needs to hire people. It's like it's just all comes all the way back around.
Yeah, we should like start a petition to like pass a law that
just stop stupidness.
restaurant workers get paid minimum wage, and the tip thing is just.
I feel like
stupid.
again, all this conversation is being talked on like zero research. Like I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where that started or what if there's some weird like way that it makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me, but like so
Yeah, that one I don't know. But
to the
I
viewers
feel
that
like
might know
one-
more than us, sorry, but like just thinking about it in the context of our conversation today, it's like doesn't make sense. Like that should be something that's like, okay, like you guys want to just change this? Like look around to every other human being, and they're all like, yeah, that
Yes.
makes sense, and we just do it.
yeah, I know. I know.
Like who would
Like-
say no? You know what I mean? If they just did like we always vote for the president. We vote for random shit in your states, like legalize marijuana. Like why don't we just like as the United States, like you guys want to like just change this thing, and we just have like a random
Like,
vote on
alright.
like a Wednesday. Everyone's like, okay, and we all like log in and like, yeah, that sounds cool. And they're like, all right, well we all agreed to it. You know what I mean? Like why isn't that like a weird like democracy? We
Like
vote on
an
like these
actual,
stupid
That
shit.
should be it.
Like let's collectively make good decisions, and it's like, who would say no to that? Like the restaurant
All
worker's
the-
like, oh,
all the money
I
that-
don't want to pay her more than $5 an hour. It's like, all right, well, fucking get rid of that guy. He's an
Well, you're
asshole.
a piece of shit then.
All the money that we pay these politicians, like they wouldn't even be politicians anymore. Like just the people would be our own politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's either a yes or a no. You want to change this? Yes. Okay, how? And then
Yeah. And
okay,
it's
half, like 58% of the population said yes, 42 said no.
Yeah.
So yes, it is.
and it's
Boom,
hard because
done.
then you're getting to politics where it's like,
Yeah.
you're voting
And it's
for
str-
people
yeah.
to make these decisions for you. So it's like it's all part of that because most people won't be bothered with taking the time to understand these types of questions and
yeah.
stuff like that. So you vote for the person who you think
There's a
is
lot
gonna
more. Yeah, like I said, we're oversimplifying.
yeah, we're
it again,
oversimplifying
too.
because like that's literally politics as a whole. It's like
Yeah.
you literally vote for someone to do the work for you because you're
And-
working at your job and they're gonna do this for their job. So it's like that system does sort of make sense in a
Yeah.
way because
And
most
we don't
people-
have a democracy. Like we have a democratic republic, which is not the same as a
Yeah,
straight
yeah, it's not a
democracy. Like a
full-
straight democracy wouldn't be like that would be
Yeah,
kinda
it's not a
chaotic.
full
like Brian
democracy.
said, like like 50 this people said yes, this people like these said no. But then you could a lot of problems could come from that because then it's mob rule. It's
Yeah.
not. Now it's
then it
just,
gets
yeah.
then it
like,
gets
there
territorial
is-
and it's like
like there is in our stupid politics system that we have, like there is a core of like necessity and like
Exactly.
structure that is good, but it's
Which is
just
how it
gone
started, yeah.
so far beyond that at this point. But yeah,
I mean, well, we're coming towards the end here, but I want to end it on like where do we go from here? It's like, do we all
I don't
just
know.
do we sit here, we complain week to
jobs
week
and go
about our
homeless.
work, and we do our 40 hours, we come home, we work on the board with the boys stuff, and we try to make our own thing to get out of the rat race that is freaking all of that.
But
Like,
then
is
we
that
just end up putting ourselves in another thing where we got to make money, even though we're having more fun.
I mean, that's that's an A or B scenario too. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like where do people go? Like besides us, like what do people do? Do you stay in it? Is there something to do?
You
Do you
just-
protest? Do you try to like get into politics?
No,
Like,
you
what
just-
do you do? You know what I mean?
you quit everything, you become homeless, then you just get addicted to crack, and then you're fine, and then nothing matters anymore.
And
You
you're
just-
fine. Well, you still need money.
That's minimalistic right there.
You still need
Yeah.
money. See, even if you want to live a life
but
of
you
crack,
find
you
it.
gotta have money.
I said that one time at my old job. It was like we were inside working, and there was like a shitty ass day, stressful day. My manager was like, "This fucking sucks." And there was like I used to work at like a kind of a bad part of the city that I lived in, or that I live in, and there was just like a I don't want to say a crackhead because that's kind of like demeaning to like
Yeah.
it's a person, you know what I mean? But like
It's a
there was
person on
someone down
drugs.
there like
An addict.
on drugs, and they were like, "Woo, woo!" Like they screaming. I'm like, dude, that guy's having his time of life. What the fuck are we doing? I'm like, that dude's like kind of jokingly. Obviously, that's you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't condone that. Like I feel bad. Like that's bad. But like kind of like in a way like kind of true. Kind of like that dude's like having a great time down there. Like dude, like we're idiots working for this big company. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're
like,
working for
part
like
of it's
minimum
true.
wage. This dude has like 6
Yeah.
cents in his pocket, and he's like happy as can be.
Yeah, like obviously like that's an extreme example,
Yeah.
but like there's some truth behind that. Like, but
I don't know. What do you got,
Yeah,
Brian?
that's
Christian,
good.
what's your message to the viewers? What do you do now? What do people do? Do you just live it? You just do it? You live society? You
Follow your
play the
dreams.
game?
Don't settle.
Follow the dreams.
Never settle. Always improve yourself.
Yeah. That's what I would say. Like, and we kind of talked about it. I would say don't give your soul to like the place that you're at. Like, do good. Like, do your work. Earn your money. But like, give yourself time and energy to chase something else. You know what I mean? Like, whether that becomes a thing or it's a job or just your own habit. Like, don't sell your soul to like your main thing. Like, don't let that be your life. What do you do for your what was it?
don't make
Don't make
yeah,
that
what do you
like
do for a
your
living?
livelihood. Like, don't sell your soul
Yeah.
there. Like, give yourself energy.
Don't make
Save yourself.
your life your work.
That would be my thing. I mean, we all need to live it too. I need to live it too, because I mean,
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm aware of all the stuff we're talking about, but I'm
We're not
still in that
perfect.
system. I'm
We're-
terrible at it. Like
yeah, we're all in the rat race too.
Yeah.
But that would be my advice. So hopefully we
boys
can
better to
hopefully
talk
we
about
can do
race.
that. Hopefully we can do that and eventually get to a point where we're still struggling to try to make money, but at least we're waking up and it's like, this is what I want to do. Not
well, like you said,
If
in
I woke
another
up every day
episode.
and went to some building where I could see you guys walking in with me and we go in front of our computer every day and do this shit, that'd be my best life right there.
I agree.
Yeah, like you said in an episode before, like focus on if you could go to a job where you can focus on that day of living rather than like those goals or those things that you were setting.
Hmm.
I feel like you'd just be better. And that's like
Yeah.
that's like the goal is to find a job or just sustain that you can do that, where you can just enjoy the every day, enjoy
Exactly.
the process of what you're doing.
Yeah, and even if you hate it, like don't just go.
There's gonna
and
be
don't do
there's gonna be shitty times
nothing.
in
You know what I
everything,
mean?
but
Like
yeah, Oh yeah.
be useful, be worth it for the company to have you, even if you hate it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
your choice to work there, you can go work somewhere else. So it's like still like give some effort, but like
Yeah.
don't go all in. Like unless that's your thing, have at it. But like
Yeah,
save
if they're asking
save
too
some
much,
energy for your own life.
It's not worth it.
Unless
Yeah.
you're a workaholic.
But anyways, if you want us to have a dream,
If you want
make
us
sure
to,
to buy
to
us, buy us
live
a
our
coffee.
dream,
Buy us a drink. What was that,
Buy us a
that
coffee,
thing?
buy us-
Buy us a drink.
yeah, buy us a drink. Something new we're gonna try. I'm sure you've heard of people doing Patreon and stuff like that. So we got a new thing. It's, you can buy us a drink. Basically, join a small little community where you can help.
Cap Coke.
Yeah, you can help support us, but also have like a say in videos we post, things we talk about, games we might stream, and maybe get
Get
some behind the
interactive.
scenes stuff. So just get a little bit more, in tight with us. So if you're interested, check the link. Check the link below.
eventually-
Buy us a drink, and we'll.
Eventually, we'll
Something
have our
new.
dreams come true. We'll buy a warehouse, bigger office,
An
massive
office.
amounts of monitors, computers,
Buy a van.
video games, buy a van. Like
gonna
we spoke in our first podcast.
skydiving.
We'll jump out of those.
Yeah.
Jump on a plane for sure. I was looking up the other day. It's not expensive. We're doing it. It's like literally like $200. It's like not that expensive.
It's just a scheduling thing.
Don't forget, as always, a road to 100.
Yeah, it's a road to
Yes,
100.
that's another way.
So-
The subscribers to YouTube is another big thing to help us.
Yeah, help us get a new subscribers on YouTube. Get us to 100 at least. We got a giveaway. We
Christian
finally
Duke,
get a custom channel name that we can put in our friggin' URLs. Help us climb from there. Said if we're not posting on YouTube, we're up on Twitch. So
Yep.
follow us and yeah.
Christian has one more thing.
Remember, 100. Once we reach that goal,
I know you're gonna don't.
what?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna say Tim's gonna quit that.
I know
game.
exactly what he was going to say.
Oh, wait, that too.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Tim's gonna quit
Oh, we're
that
holding
game
Tim
once
to
we reach
that.
100.
100 subscribers
We're
on
still
YouTube.
holding to that. Yeah.
This kid
So
can't play
once
that
we
game.
reach 100,
Even though he never agreed to it, he's still quitting.
it's a silent thing. So
Yeah.
don't worry, we're gonna do something.
All right,
about
what were
All
you
right,
gonna
go
say?
ahead. Finish your
Cut
thought.
this off.
Once we reach 100 to our goal of subscribers, we're giving away a free game
yeah.
to a random follower.
Yep.
That's right. Any game you want.
Yep. Any game, any platform, random subscriber. So if you want in, help us get it to 200. Talk to your friends, your family. Get us there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
Let
just
your-
enjoy the
let-
content too.
Let your
So,
dog join. You know.
create
Yeah,
a YouTube account for your dog.
But anyways, follow our YouTube, follow our Twitch, which we're doing a lot of nowadays. We're trying to keep up with every day, but it's a difficult task, but we'll eventually meet that task.
Yeah.
So it's
We've
either
been going
me,
hard.
yeah, it's either me, Tim, or Brian. We're giving our hopes to you guys to follow us.
Yeah.
And
If you
we'll
like
make
us.
everyone.
Yeah, if you like
Enjoy.
us. We
And we
we
need
want people to
feedback.
join
We
us, and
need-
we want to
we
make
need
good
feedback.
I don't
stuff.
even
We don't
care
want
if
to
you
be.
don't like us. You better
Feed
follow
us,
us.
feed us some
All right, maybe not.
ideas. We'll stream those.
Yeah, let us know. We want to connect with more people. We want to get out there a bit more. So, before we drag out this intro too long,
Yeah,
Yeah.
outro. Well, we're only on the intro. It took an hour to do this
Before
intro.
we
Oh my
outro.
god, this is a long.
but
this is a
yeah,
long
if
video.
you're interested, ton of links in the description. Check them out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for
Boys.
watching, listening.
Peace.
See you later.